2, 3, 4. Here we go. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof and shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof one more time. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. All right, thank you.
Good morning, Unity. Help me welcome Reverend Gordon Keyler.
Good morning, Unity. In this place, the Spirit is. If you haven't guessed, we're going to be basing our series, our lesson today, on the movie The Empire Strikes Back. How many of you have seen it? Yeah, some of us many years ago. But, you know, one of the funnest things about this series for me is that I get to watch all the movies again. Just me? Okay. Well, I invite you to watch the movies again. They're a whole lot of fun. Well, welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. Is there anybody here for the first time? For the first time? Yeah, welcome. Yes, we are glad you are here. And if you did not get a welcome packet, please be sure you see one of our ushers or somebody at the Welcome Center, and they will make sure you got one. And you are especially invited to join us today for our barbecue. That's Why we are dressed casually. You know, one of the neat things about Unity is we don't have a dress code. You can dress however you want. The only thing we request is you do wear some kind of clothing. Beyond that, we're pretty flexible. And God loves you just the way you are. So if you are here for the very first time today, we want to say to you, welcome home. And we want you to know that we see you. We see your hopes. We see your dreams. We see your struggles. We see your light. And we are here at Unity Spiritual Center to provide a safe place for spiritual growth. So whatever brought you here today, whether it be community, seeking healing, wanting to go deeper in your own spirituality, or maybe just curiosity to find out, what is this Unity thing? We are so glad you are with us. And we also want you to know that we are not concerned about the color of your skin because all colors are on the spectrum of light. Nor do we concern ourselves with who you love. We rejoice with you that you love. And we are glad you are here no matter where you come from, because in this now moment, in this place, you are home. So welcome. Now let's pull out our phones and check in with our social media check-in. If you have not already done so, I am committed to my growth. I am committed to my growth. And once you have committed yourself, please put your phone on Do Not Disturb. And with that, I'd like to turn the platform over to Michael, who will share some announcements with us.
Thank you, Gordon. So as Gordon just said, we have a barbecue out in front. So please bring your appetite. There will be hamburgers, hot dogs, veggie burgers, desserts, and drinks will be provided. Jeff Siddall will be grilling, so make sure you don't give him a bad time. Reiki nights. So beginning Tuesday, July 9th, USC Reiki practitioners will begin offering a monthly Reiki night here at Unity. Doors will open at 6:15 for sign-ups for 30-minute treatments. Please enter through the south door in the community hall room. Reiki energy is healing, balancing, and relaxing. Healing and energy work have a 100-year-plus history from the early days of Unity. We are blessed with a dozen congregants who will offer Reiki treatments. A love offering of $30 is requested. All donations going to USC payment by cash, check, or church app. USC Night at the Isotopes, Saturday, July 27th, 6:35 p.m. Isotopes versus Round Rock Express. Tickets are $15. Purchase on USC website or call the office at 505-292-1998. We are still looking for moving help. Unity Spiritual Center office will be moving from across the street to the main building in July, beginning in July 19th and 20th. We need boxes and help to move. Please contact the office to see how you can help or loan us boxes. There's a sign-up sheet in the foyer. There are many activities and events happening here at Unity Spiritual Center. Please, we encourage you to check out our website, Facebook page, YouTube, or online newsletter, or call the office for detailed information. All right, so our worship team. You've already met Reverend Gordon Keyler. Janet Harula is our trustee of the day. I am Michael Small. I'm your platform host. Ellen Kajikawa and Susie Orchard is our prayer chaplains, and you can find them on either side of the sanctuary at the end of the service. If you can't make or can't talk to them, there's prayer slips in the back of the chair, so you can go ahead and fill that out. There's a place to put them out in the foyer or give it to an usher or a prayer chaplain. Todd Lowry is our music director, and along with Todd Lowry is our music team, which is Brian Griesmeyer and Sharon Eldridge. Bill Brooks is our soloist of the day. And our special thanks to our AVLM team, John Vandemay and Elizabeth Carroll. Janet, you want to come on up?
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see so many faces here, and I know there's been a ton of people behind the scenes with the barbecue. this better? A little bit? I can lean in? Okay. I'm just so happy to see all of you here. There's a ton of people behind the scenes for this barbecue, and some of them aren't even in the room yet, so I want to say thank you to them, and just have a good time and fellowship, which is what we are about here. So please join me in reciting our mission, vision, and core values. Our vision: centered in love, we see a harmonious world of divine expression. Our mission: we inspire spiritual growth through honoring many paths: education, prayer, sacred service, and abundant living. Our core values: we are Christ-centered, loving, inclusive, joyous, uplifting, open-minded, and fun. And our unity credo: we believe all people are created with sacred worth. We serve all people in emotional and spiritual ways. We welcome the diversity of all. God and unity leave no one out. This is the part of the service where we collect our tithes and our love offerings. You can do that in several different ways. If you are here in the sanctuary, you can do it that way. Our ushers will come forward to collect that. You also can use our Church Center app to donate. You can do it online on uscabq.org/give. It's the button in the top right-hand corner. Or you can text to give at 84321. So the ushers, please come forward. And please join me with the offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my heart.
Join me in reciting our prosperity dedication. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs and desires of Unity Spiritual Center and those we serve are bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, Our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God.
Alrighty, it's time for a congregational song, so I invite you to stand. We're going to sing one we all know called Down in My Soul. It's a call and response, so. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I hear the music. I hear the music. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. Everybody. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day. I've got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home. Yeah, great job. Have a seat. In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room.
The word of the day is beautiful. I discover beauty in and around me. I see beauty in soaring mountains and rolling seas, in majestic forests and kaleidoscopic fields of wild flowers. I hear beauty in music, bird songs, and the laughter and conversation of people in fellowship. Beauty is one of the principles innate to our divinity. We use it to create beauty and perceive beauty wherever we go and whatever we do. Searching beyond my senses, I discover a greater depth of beauty. The mundane items and landmarks I may take for granted take on a deeper beauty when my memories fill them with meaning. My dear ones become even more beautiful when I pause to remember our fondest experiences and the love that we have shared. I move through each day with my mind and heart open. Now, even the most ordinary items, places, and circumstances become more and more precious and beautiful to me. I discover beauty in and around me.
And as we think about beauty, we move deeper into our hearts, deeper into that place of divine connection, connection with all the beautiful souls around us, with all the beauty of this earth, with all that God is. I recall a line from the Beauty Way. I walk in beauty. I walk in beauty. Beauty is all around me, in me, through me, and as me. Indeed, it is the only reality, the only truth. And I use my power of wisdom to choose to focus on reality, or instead look out upon illusion. I choose beauty. I choose to see and hear that which is true and beautiful. I see and listen to that which is uplifting, which is empowering. I wisely choose to center myself in love. For in this place of love and wisdom, I can only see beauty. I may be aware of the illusion of the world, but I do not give it my energy. I give my energy to beauty, to love, to wisdom. For I know that that which I give my energy to increases. I can choose this day to walk in beauty or not. I can listen to the roar of the world around me or not. In the place of beauty, I recognize that that power, that energy is life. Souls living life to their fullest. And rather than see it as intrusion, I bless it as affirmation. I walk in beauty. I wisely choose to immerse myself in the beautiful. I wisely choose to give all of my heart, soul, and energy to beauty, to beautiful scenes, to beautiful words, to beautiful music, and to beautiful ways of being. I walk in beauty, and I move deeper into that awareness as I rest in silent wonder at the beauty around me, in me, and as me. As I rest in this beautiful consciousness and use my power of wisdom to choose beauty, I recall the words of Myrtle Fillmore's favorite prayer. I now am wise. I now am true, patient, kind, and loving too. All things I am, can do, and be through Christ the truth that is in me. I send that beauty out into the world, affirming that it touches every heart and every soul, reminding people that there's more than enough beauty and more than enough love for all the world, in the world, and right here in this very room.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room. All right, Bill Brooks is here. Here's a song called The Climb. 2, 3, 4. I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. chances I'm taking sometimes might not be down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Ain't about how fast I get there. Somebody's gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah, yeah. Keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's all about the climb. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa.
Thank you, Bill. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Bill and Sharon and Brian and Todd. Whew. Great music to kick us off, yes. Climbing mountains, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not specifically, but the same kind of general idea, the hero's journey. We are continuing our series, as you know, on the 12 powers through different popular movies. The movie for this week, representing wisdom, is The Empire Strikes Back. And I asked this at the very beginning of the service today. I'm going to ask it again. How many of you have seen the Star Wars, the first four, 5, and 6, the first 3 Star Wars movies? It's always confusing, isn't it? This was the turning point in Luke Skywalker's journey. And we're going to be talking about the wisdom that he learned from those around him and how we can do the same thing. But if you're here for the first time and may not be aware of what our 12 powers are, these are the foundational powers that we use to grow spiritually. There's nothing dogmatic or religious about them. These are powers every human being has from birth. These are the powers that build us to a higher and higher realization of our Christ potential. And those powers are faith, strength, love, wisdom, the power of power, imagination, understanding, will, order, enthusiasm, also called zeal, elimination, also called release, and life. These are basic, what Charles Fillmore called primal spiritual gifts or abilities that everybody possesses. We don't have to get them, nor do we have to get more of them. We have all that is possible to have. We have an infinite supply of these powers. What we are about is coming into realization of these powers and making them useful in our lives. Because when we do that, that is when we begin to more fully demonstrate that Christ consciousness that Jesus modeled for us. That's why we study them. That's why we go deeper with them. And that's why sometimes we recognize them in popular culture around us, because Spirit is always speaking to us. I tell people sometimes that you can find spiritual messages in everything, even the Sunday comics. But today we're going to focus on The Empire Strikes Back as we explore the power of wisdom. What is wisdom? Well, Webster's dictionary defines it as knowledge and good judgment based on experience. Being wise. And wise implies having a knowledge and understanding of people and what is true and right in life and conduct, and showing sound judgment in applying this knowledge. In the 12 Powers, Charles Fillmore wrote, wisdom includes judgment, discrimination, intuition, and all the departments of mind that come under the heading of knowing. It's knowing. Wisdom is sometimes also referred to as judgment. That's the word Charles Fillmore actually used in the beginning, was judgment. But the problem with judgment is it has baggage. We have a lot of judgments around the word judgment. In this case, we are talking about good judgment, making wise choices, learning to balance our information, our knowledge with our intuition. Well, if judgment is such a good thing, why does it get a bad rap? Because we have attached it to things we have been grown up with. Sayings like, don't be so judgmental, or even from the Bible, judge not lest you be judged. So it's important to differentiate between true judgment, discernment, and condemnation, which is what that word has come to mean to so many of us in our culture today. You see, discernment seeks only truth, only to do the right thing. Condemnation is about making others wrong. It makes more sense then if we change the wording of some of these things to condemn not, lest you be condemned. Sounds a little better? Well, not really good, but it makes more sense. Interestingly enough, the other power most closely associated with wisdom, anybody want to guess? What would it be? No guesses? Oh, come on, guys, be brave. Knowledge, understanding, love. Love. In fact, the apostle that is assigned to the power of wisdom, and there's nothing magical or canon in this, it's just a way we have of recognizing the powers, is James, the brother of John. And John, of course, represents what? Love, yes. So the combination of wisdom and love is a clear example of connecting head and heart. Wisdom without love is very academic. And love without wisdom tends to become very codependent and leads us to make unwise choices. James Trapp, the former president and CEO of Unity Worldwide Ministries, once said, there is information that informs, and then there is information that transforms. Wisdom is seeking the information that transforms. And when we connect that information with our heart, our center of love, we give energy to the power of the process of transformation, and we rise in consciousness. Together, wisdom and love help us to see beyond who we think we are and beyond what we believe we are capable of when we combine wisdom and love. And when we layer that on top of the two principles we've already studied, you may remember, were faith and strength, we develop the capacity to see beyond appearances, to move outside of our comfort zone, to know that we are capable of so much more than we thought. You know, we live in a world right now where it's very easy to get caught up in the appearances of what's going on, isn't it? And to go, oh my God, we're all going to die. Life is chaos. It's turmoil. Bad things are happening. But when we see with wisdom and love and combine it with strength and faith, we begin to realize that there's something bigger going on behind all of what we're seeing, that there is transformation happening in the world. And whenever there is transformation, whether it's in the world or in ourselves, it can appear very chaotic, can it? It can appear to be very uncomfortable. But that is simply old ways breaking down, old crystallized thinking and beliefs breaking up. So how do we do that? How do we begin to move into that? Well, I like the words of Cindy Wigglesworth, a Unity author, who writes that wisdom is a spectrum. It's a spectrum, and it's based on data. There is the data or information that is facts of the world around us. From that comes knowledge, applied information. How do we take that information and apply it to what we see, to what we are, to what we are learning? And then there is wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge guided by compassion. So we take all of that in and we process it and we use it. For those of you who have seen The Empire Strikes Back, is there anybody who has not seen it or is not familiar with the story? A few of you, really? Okay. Well, basically, dark times have come upon the galaxy. There's an evil emperor and a powerful, what they call a Sith Lord, a dark figure, whose name is Darth Vader, which literally translates to Dark Father. That's going to be important. Don't forget that. Okay? And there is a young Jedi Knight. He's barely out of his teens. Young Jedi Knight named Luke Skywalker. There's significance in these names. I mean, think about it. Skywalker, walking at a higher level. But he's young. He doesn't have any wisdom yet, really. He has a lot of good ideas, and he thinks he's right about a lot of things, which we're going to find out maybe not so much. But he is impacted by what is going on around the world, around the galaxy, in his experience. And he's focused on what's happening to him and his friends and family themselves. And he's being called, something's calling within him to rise up, to make a difference. We all have that calling. We've all felt that calling. And there's a whole arc to the story. It very much is the hero's journey. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it all works out good in the end. And it's all about wisdom. The Empire Strikes Back is the middle of the first 3 Star Wars movies, which were not released in the order that was the whole series. It's the middle. It's the turning point. It's the point where everything breaks down in Luke's life so that something higher and purer can come forth. But it's not an easy process. I think it's safe to say that the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy, is very much a part of our modern culture, our modern mythology. And when George Lucas was writing this, he was actually studying the works of Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell is the quintessential expert on the hero's journey, which every story the world knows is the hero's journey. From the religious stories of the Buddha and the Christ and Muhammad and Krishna, to all of the other stories, all of the other pop culture. It is the hero's journey. Lucas very clearly saw that everyone in the story, but particularly Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, you'll find out who that is in a minute, symbolized the hero's journey that we all go through in our own lives. And there's a particularly meaningful relationship between Luke and Yoda. This is Yoda, for those of you who don't know. Well, actually, this is baby Yoda. He came along later. But Yoda was a what they call a Jedi warrior. We're going to talk about what that means, too. Yoda was the epitome of wisdom and understanding. Luke gets a message to go see Yoda. He didn't know who Yoda was. He had no idea. But he hears a voice, the voice of his first teacher, Obi-Wan Kenobi, saying to him, "Go to Dagobah, find Yoda. You will learn from Yoda." So he flies to a planet called Dagobah, and he crashes his spaceship, his fighter, on the planet, and it sinks into the swamp. And he's trying to salvage what he can and, set up camp and all of that, and this little green figure comes up. This little green figure that is very different from anybody he's ever met. And this little green figure kind of puts on an act almost of being like this kind of quirky, maybe not too intelligent creature. It was all an act. And so the whole time in the beginning there, Luke is treating Yoda with great disdain, being even kind of belligerent to him. And Yoda asks him, "Why are you here?" And he says, "I am looking for a great Jedi master." And Yoda, who has never met Luke before, says, "Oh, you seek Yoda." And Luke goes, "You know Yoda, take me to him." And he starts getting very demanding. And they go back and forth, and finally we begin to see a little bit of chagrin when he realizes that this little green troll, played by Frank Oz, by the way, was in fact the Jedi Master Yoda. There's a powerful lesson for us there. How often do we think that wisdom needs to be pretty, or tied up neatly in a bow, or always make sense the first time we hear it? We think that the wise masters that we should be listening to walk around like this. Yeah. What if they're little green trolls? What if they come to us in packages we don't recognize right away? You see, Yoda was the perfect example of that. That wisdom comes in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, and even puppets. Yoda's training of Luke in the following scenes is very comprehensive. He doesn't just teach him about the metaphysical nature of the universe. He makes him physically work out, because Yoda recognizes that we are human beings and spiritual beings. So his teaching was holistic. It was about body, mind, soul, spirit. It was about all of that. And it was important to know that we cannot deny our humanness. You know, there's so often this idea in religion that we have to become spiritual and totally forget about our human side. But our human side is what's here right now. It's the avatar that our spirit uses to have this experience. So it's very important that we keep that in mind. So along with the exercise and the physical work that Yoda trained Luke in, he also made him meditate. Oh, even in Star Wars, they meditate. It's important, folks. If you don't meditate. It is that going within, that going into the silence. It is there in meditation that we find the wisdom that is of the mind, the heart, the body, and the spirit. This was hard for Luke, just like it's hard for us sometimes, because Luke could be very impulsive. Remember, I said he was quite young. He wanted everything right now. Even us, my age. How many of us want everything right now? We live in a world where everything is right now. Luke was not patient. Luke was not wise. I think it's safe to say that he had just enough information about metaphysics and truth to be dangerous. Well, one of the things that Luke had to learn to face was his own inner darkness. And there's a scene in The Empire Strikes Back on Dagobah when Yoda tells Luke, you have to go into this cave. And you cannot take any weapons or anything with you. And Luke kind of ignores him and takes his lightsaber, which was his weapon of choice. And they go in. He goes into the cave alone. And this cave is dark and dank and scary and full of lizards growling and all kinds of fearful symbols. And Luke has some bravery. He's okay through all the snakes and the lizards and all of that. But then he confronts Darth Vader, Dark Father. Big, black, breathing heavy. And the first thing he does is pull out his lightsaber and chops his head off. And the head falls at his feet, and the mask explodes off, and he looks down, and it's his own face. Remember that scene? Luke had to go into this metaphysical cave representing his own inner consciousness and confront his deepest fear. Now, our caves are not quite so literal. They're more metaphorical, but the teaching is the same. I like what Eleanor Roosevelt said, do one thing every day that you're afraid of. And for many people, it's like, well, today I'm going to go skydiving or bungee jump off a bridge. Thank God that's not what she meant. Because I will not do those. Do one thing every day that you're afraid of. What are our biggest fears? Our biggest fears are confronting those things within us that are calling us to change, to recognizing our own inner darkness, our own inner demons. That is our deepest fears. But in order for us to feel good about ourselves on the inside, we have to be given the opportunity to overcome it, to feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what Yoda was teaching Luke. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And along with that comes the requirement that we have to unlearn all those things we think we know. That means we have to be willing to let go. And this can be really scary, to let go of our long-held thoughts, beliefs, and opinions, or our BS, as I call it. Now, BS does not mean what you think it means. It means our belief system. Who built our belief system? We did, each one of us individually. Oh, we're told things, but we build our own belief system. So we have to let go of our belief system or our BS. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is being wise enough to recognize, one, that we know nothing. I'm going to change genres here a little bit and go to Star Trek. Any Trekkies? Yeah, okay. Data one time quoted many, many, many people when he was asked a question by Jean-Luc Picard, he said, I don't know. I don't know. Those are the true words of a wise person. I don't know. Socrates said it. Every great philosopher said those are the most powerful words we can know. I don't know. When we can embrace just how ignorant we really are, we become able to learn all things. Now, that ignorant does not mean stupid. Stupidity is thinking you know everything. Ignorant is being willing to be open to all things. This is what keeps us growing, keeps us improving, keeps us alive. That is wisdom. Luke's head was so full of what he thought he knew that he couldn't take in what Yoda was trying to teach him. He had that preconception of what his Jedi Master was going to look like, and he had to let that go. He had this preconception of what a Jedi Master was. In fact, one time he said, Yoda is a great warrior. And Yoda in his wisdom kind of chuckled and said, wars not make one great. Wars do not make one great. Now let's look at a clip from the movie.
The summer breeze brings me to my knees, dragging itself through our blinds. The willow trees and their weeping leaves are echoing now to touch the ground. Shadows outside playing games of disguise. I hear the echo of a soft bluebird. Branches high in the brilliant sky, looking for traces of moon. And all of our stories waiting to be folded like laundry in the corner of a room. The air is full of whispers and the sky is full of sun. They say it's gonna rain tomorrow. Will we be ready when it comes? The summer breeze brings me to my knees, bearing lavender through our blind. I hear your voice as it pulls me close, tiptoeing at the edge of my mind. The air is full of promises. The sky is full of sun.
Now, just be honest, how many of us back in 1970 tried to lift something that way? Yoda's trying to teach Luke about the holographic nature of the universe, and that the universe does not differentiate between moving rocks or moving a ship. How many times in our own lives have we had experiences or beliefs or ideas that were like ships, and we try to move them? We can move the little beliefs, the little easy things, but we can't move the big things in our consciousness. The only difference between the two is our belief in the difference. Yoda knew that even doing the smallest thing with intention and integrity and focus can cause the biggest shifts. And he told us, be clear about your learning. Be clear about your training. Focus on what you are here for. All of us are here for something. No matter where we are in our life's journey, we are still here for a reason. Yoda said to Luke, to his training, the deepest commitment a Jedi must have. This reminds us of the conviction and persistence of strength. And he admonished Luke for wanting to take the quick and easy path, and told him that that path was the path to the dark side, the path to evil. Again, how true is this of us? So many times we want to go from point A to point Z in our own experience or unfolding without going through the process, without going through the journey, without going through the steps. A lot of that is what we're seeing in the world around us. As a people, as a species, we are going through some major steps in our journey. And some people say, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to do that. But they are necessary to get to the next level of our evolution, to the next highest level of expression for the race itself, for our culture, for our society, for all of us. This is the journey towards learning that we are luminous beings. When Yoda says to Luke, this crude matter we are not, That's Yoda speak for saying we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate between what is the inner voice of wisdom and what is the monkey mind. The monkey mind is that part of us that sounds so convincing, that repeats all those messages we have heard throughout our whole lives. The monkey mind needs to be right. It needs to be righteous, rigid, defensive, cynical, with no possibility of growth or overcoming. It tells us that others are wrong. It's humorless, it's self-interested, and it's basically concerned with survival. And underlying that is always the fear that something could go wrong. When we're in that monkey mind consciousness, we are literally building a force, a field around our heart. But monkey mind can be overcome through the power of wisdom. Because the power of wisdom is open, it's compassionate, it's spacious, and it is characterized by a generosity of spirit, gentle humor, and opening of the heart. Notice how beautifully Luke exemplifies the monkey mind. It's too big. You want the impossible. And Yoda exemplifies the inner voice of wisdom. Yoda also taught that you will know the difference between good and bad when you are quiet and at peace. Luke was constantly consumed with a sense of urgency, a sense of, I got to get this done. I want everything to happen right now. He didn't honor the process in the beginning. And Yoda said, become still, become quiet. So what do we do with that? Where do we go with that? Well, wisdom invites us then to ask a question. And the question we are invited to ask is, what voices are we listening to? What thoughts are we feeding? What choices are we making? Are they based on wisdom, or are they based on the world of appearance, the world of illusion? In the Bible, it says, choose this day whom you will serve. Whom will you serve? That lower self that's immersed in the world, that is caught up in the illusion, or the higher self that sees the truth that underlies it all? I'm going to close with the analogy of what happened when Luke finally did meet his father, Anakin Skywalker, also known as Darth Vader. Now, in the beginning, Luke didn't know Darth was his father. Darth is the most evil person the galaxy has ever seen, presumably. And Luke must confront him. In the beginning, in the cave, Luke's only goal is to destroy Darth Vader. But when they finally do come face to face in the third movie, he takes a different path. Because he realized something. And this is something I think we miss in the films. Anakin, Darth Vader, had the same training Luke did, except he had it longer than Luke. He started younger. He grew up with this training. What happened? Darth Vader chose to listen to the dark side. Excuse me. Listen to me if I can't talk. He chose to listen to the dark side. He chose to immerse himself in the galaxy of appearances, of illusion. They had the same journey up to a point, but Luke chose a different path. He chose to go within. He chose to engage his power of wisdom. And when he reached his turning point, when his aunt and uncle were killed who had raised him, he chose, rather than go on this path of vengeance, to go on the path of the Jedi. And so when he and Anakin met, came face to face, throughout the entire third movie, he said, I see the good in you. Looking at Darth Vader, there is still good in you. I see that. And at the end of that movie, at the climax, when he's battling Darth Vader is trying to destroy him, trying to beat him down so that he will go to the dark side as well. Luke says, no. And finally, the emperor, the evil emperor who's more evil even than Darth Vader, says, join the dark side, Luke. All you have to do to become the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy is kill your father and take your place at my side. And even though by this point Luke was tired and beat up and sad, he shut off his lightsaber and dropped it on the ground. It's the equivalent of laying down your sword. And he says, I will not do it. You have lost, Your Highness. I will not kill my father. That was the final step in his hero's journey. That was the final, total, and complete acceptance of true wisdom. Luke knew that the final step of this was not in killing his father, but becoming one with that energy, becoming one with his past, becoming one with his father. And when he made that choice, Anakin, his father, returned. Darth Vader was gone. It woke up something in him to the goodness that had always been there, that he had forgotten. And in Darth Vader, Anakin destroys the Emperor. All because Luke chose wisdom. He looked past the appearances. He saw behind the mask that Darth Vader had worn. That's the power of wisdom. The power of wisdom fills us with the knowing that there is always good, always something higher, always something more. That's the wisdom of Yoda. That's the wisdom of the Christ. And it is the wisdom you have in you. May the Force be with you.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds would cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate. Through the road may wander, it will lead me to you, and 1,000 years would be worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't look back. I can go the distance, and I'll stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance, and my journey is complete. Oh yeah, but to look beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I will go its arms till I find my hero's welcome waiting in your arms.
Thank you, Bill. Beautiful. Hey, there's some kids out there.
You are walking in the light of God. 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 You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God. You are walking, 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 walking in the light of God.
Hello, happy Sunday. How are you today? Awesome. You look wonderful out there. I love the Yoda, Baby Yoda. Do you guys see his Baby Yoda shirt? Very cool. Do we have anybody that wants to share this morning?
So today we made a sun and everything. We're grateful about ourselves. And I wrote kind, happy, stylish. And I'm like finger knitting a pig. So.
Yay. And I had a couple, I'm going to go to you, Teddy, next. I had a couple of shout outs. We had a wonderful visitor today, guest, Marley or Mars. And today is Miss Sarah's birthday. So give her a hug if you see her. All right, we got Teddy.
What we did today was we talked about how sometimes you gotta just follow your gut, and when you learn new things and things come in your life, you gotta stick to your gut sometimes.
That's very wise. Yeah.
Just wanted to let you guys know, next Saturday, the teen group, we're having a lock-in, so we're going to be spending the night at the church next Saturday. I'm going to apologize in advance if we missed something, one of our messes, but it means we had a really good time bonding. Also, we're going to be having a bake sale next Sunday for a love offering. We're going to be decorating some cookies and having some brownies and stuff like that for sale next Sunday to support us so we can go to more events like Rally. Because this October, I'm on a special committee where I'm planning a special retreat for our middle schoolers. So our middle schoolers will get to go to a special retreat during like the last weekend of Balloon Fiesta, like that week. So for a three-day weekend. So we're really excited that we're planning a special event for them. So yeah, thank you for your support.
Yay, that's awesome. Anybody else want to share anything? Okay, will you please join me in blessing these beautiful people?
We have something very special to do today. I want to recognize one of our teams and a person in our team. How many of you, adults and children, love the food that we have on Sundays? Every Sunday we have such delicious food, such great service, and you know, it takes a special group of people to make that happen. So I'd like to invite up our hospitality team. I know you guys are working hard today, but we'd like to have you come up. Woo! These are the people that make it possible for us to have great community back in our hospitality hall, for you guys to have cookies and treats. These are the people that make it happen. And there's one person in this group who has done this 2 weeks ago, completed her 10th year of serving as our hospitality director. Elaine, would you step forward? Elaine, would you step forward? And Elaine, we so appreciate you and your many, many years of such dedication and service that we have a special gift for you. 10 years of service. Thank you. You are such a blessing to all of us and such a great leader of this team. I mean, community is very much the heart and soul of us, and you are the leader of the team that makes a big part of that possible. So we are so grateful, and let's bless Elaine. Elaine, we love you, we bless you, and we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Thank you, Elaine, and your team. You want to show us what you got? We're all dying to see. I know what it is, but it takes a team. There is something in there, I promise. We got some work to do before we can do that. That is Larimer from Life's a Gem. And we got you a gem because you are a gem. So Elaine, thank you and bless you, and thank you to the whole team that you so lovingly head up. Thank you. And before we close, are there any birthdays in July? Who all has a July birthday? Steve does. Who else?
Let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear lunatics. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you now. Happy birthday.
All righty, everybody. You ready? You guys ready? All right. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is and all is. Woo-wee.